Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are here to talk about the brand new palette from TATI Beauty. So if that is something you're interested in watching, you're in the right place. We're about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
All right, you guys, so the moment has arrived. TATI finally released cosmetics. We were all so excited for this launch. You guys, honestly, I probably have received more DMs asking me if I was going to review this palette than I have any other product in a very long time. So I know that you guys were just as excited about this review as I was to do it and receive this product. Oh my gosh. So many of you know Tati Westbrook, Glam Life Guru on YouTube. She has been around these parts for quite a while. She originally launched Halo Beauty, which was a line of multivitamins and supplements that you can get for hair, skin, and nails for just your skin. Her brain and body booster that she has. I actually have the Kiwi and I also have the Girl brain and body booster, and I take one of each of those every day, and I absolutely love them. I have taken those products for quite a long time, and they're really high quality products. So I knew that when she got around to doing cosmetics, which she said, and she always said from the very beginning that eventually she was going to go there. So we all knew that it was coming. It was just a matter of when. And to be honest with you, she sat on this quite well. Like, nobody even got any whispering. There wasn't any rumors or murmuring out there in the community that this was something in the works for her. It really kind of just came out of the blue, and I thought that that was magnificent. So she started and you know, I think that Halo Beauty and TATI Beauty, I think they're kind of two separate categories. I think they're probably going to end up being two different entities. You'll have Halo Beauty, which will encompass everything about beauty from within, all of the inside beauty requirements, all of the inside beauty booster that you want will be covered under Halo Beauty, and then TATI Beauty will be her cosmetics line. And if I know TATI, I have a feeling skincare is probably somewhere in the mix as well, and I'm really excited about potential with that. So right now though, we have TATI Beauty. This is the first product that's been launched under the TATI Beauty umbrella, and it is a neutral palette. It's actually a textured neutral palette. It has many different finishes. So this is called Volume 1, and the palette itself, when you first look at it, it's just this beautiful kind of matte type of feeling. It's got that really soft matte feeling to it, but immediately, and I've heard a lot of people say this when they're reviewing the palette, I heard a lot of people saying, like, the very first thing they would say was it really has a lot of weight to it, and that's not an exaggeration. It genuinely is a very weighty palette. It has a significant amount of heft to it, and I like that. I like the way that it feels in the hand. I think she has found a beautiful balance between feeling way too light so that it feels kind of really cheap, and those really heavy palettes where you're like, okay, you didn't have to weight the palette that much. It's a beautiful balance, and it feels very balanced in your hand. So I love the weight of the palette as well. Another thing is, when you first get the palette, it comes with a sleeve. So the sleeve just slides off just like this. And one thing that I did notice about the sleeve itself is that even the sleeve, it's not just cardboard sleeve. Even the outside of the sleeve has that really soft matte coating on it as well. So I thought that was really neat. And then of course you just have the palette, which looks the same. It just says Tati Beauty here. It says volume 1 here on the lower corner. And then on the back, it simply just has, it just says glitter, metallic, sequin, and matte, which is the finishes of all of the shadows that are in the palette. And then it also says cruelty-free, vegan, and that it's distributed by Tati Beauty. So you have that as the outside of the component, but of course all of the gorgeousness is on the inside. Now, the inside of this, one thing that I found very different was it doesn't just have a mirror. It has a mirror that basically it takes up the entire width of the palette, and that is not something that you see very often. Most times the mirrors are like a smaller section. They have a wide frame around them, and you have like a smaller type of mirror. This is actually a full-size mirror that is going to show you your entire face. I think it fits beautifully, and I love the size of it, that it's actually the entire length and width of the palette itself. I think that's amazing. And then of course you have the colored side of the palette, and even just looking at it here on camera, it just does not do this palette any justice. I think the design of this palette is incredibly unique. It's very original. What she's done is she has chosen 6 different colors for this particular palette. You have Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, and Poet. That's the name of the color story here that she's chosen with these 6 colors. And then what she's done with these 6 colors is she has actually given all 6 of these colors to you in all kinds of different finishes. And you guys know we talk about finishes here on this channel. I always get excited when I get a palette that has a lot of different finishes in it. This is like my dream palette. You have a row of mattes across the bottom. You have a row of a formula that she's calling Sequence. You have a row of like metallic type of shades, very shimmery shades here. And then this top row here is a pressed glitter formula. So now that we've seen the palette, I actually want you guys to take a look at it really up close. I'm going to show you the palette, and then I'm going to show you the pans individually really super up close here. All right, you guys, so the color story is just stunning. I think she picked beautiful shades for a neutral palette. I absolutely love it. One of the things I love about the design of the palette is the way that it lays flat. You can use, I have found myself using this mirror as like a mixing palette, as just something to have there laid out on the desk while I'm working with my makeup. I love having that mirror. Of course, here are all the pans up close. They're all really good size pans. I do love the size that she went with as well. That way we're assured to have plenty. And then of course, I do want you to see, I'm going to move the light around a little bit here because I want you to see how the sequence just shows up, especially in that second row. As you move the light around, you can see so many different dimensions in this palette. It just is a beautiful thing to look at. I absolutely love it. I think it's really a nice piece to have in your collection. She did a really good job. This is definitely one of those palettes that I really enjoy looking at under different lights, under different lighting. I love looking at it under natural outside lighting. I like taking my phone and just kind of playing with the different glitters as I shine a phone light over top of it. You guys saw how it really kind of lights up those sequence shades and it really pulls out the glitter. You can really see all of the different dimensions of the glitters inside of these formulas. Some of these shades are really, really cool, and some of them are really unexpected. So initially when you first look at this, you kind of just assume, okay, so like let's take Story for example. You kind of just assume that you're going to have like this kind of burnt orange matte. You're going to have kind of, you know, the same burnt orange with a little bit of sparkle. You're going to have a burnt orange metallic, and you're going to have like a burnt orange glitter. And that's really not what you get with this palette. For example, the metallic here underneath the shade Story, it's almost like a duochrome. It has this beautiful flip to it that's just absolutely stunning. Even the glitter, it has so many, not only is it the kind of burnt rusty color that you get in this glitter, but there are other shades in the glitter. There are different shapes in the glitter, so it catches the light in such a unique way. Even the sequence shade, it even has like such a beautiful gold reflect to it, so it's not just that burnt orange color. You get a lot of different colors and a lot of different dimensions with each shade. So I kind of was surprised a little bit by that, because I almost had in my head that it was basically going to be like a 6-pan palette, just with different finishes for these 6 shades. But that it kind of is the case, but it's also kind of not the case as well, because especially the pressed glitters, they really could just stand alone as their own individual type of thing, especially like Aura here. The pressed glitter that goes with Aura is such a kaleidoscope of color that it doesn't just fall under, kind of a really light beigey type of pressed glitter. It's really this beautiful kaleidoscope of colors that's just very surprising. So I don't want you to think that you're just getting 6 shades in a lot of different finishes. Each one of these shades is very unique in its own way. Another surprising thing for me was in Poet, this sequence shade here. The glitter in it is actually like a purpley blue, so it gives it this beautiful effect on the eye. I could go on and on about the different types of textures and the way that a lot of these shades play with the light, but it genuinely is a pan of 24 very unique shades. And I think that was the biggest surprise for me, was I genuinely expected this to just be a 6 shade palette with a lot of different finishes, but it really isn't. It is a 24 pan palette, and all 24 of these shades are very different and unique in their own right. Having said that, I do want to get into the swatches with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the swatches here. All right, guys, so while we do the swatches of this palette, the way that I want to do them is one row at a time, going over each individual color with all of the different finishes. So that's what we're going to do. I just want you guys to be able to see each of these colors. We're going to start with Memory. This is just the matte shade. It's a really nice black matte. It's not overwhelming. It's just pretty. The next shade is the sequence version of Memory, and I love the micro shimmer in this sequence shade. It is so stunning. And one thing that I noticed is the way that the sequence formula catches the light. If you'll see here, you can see purples, you can see blues. It's got all of these different colors and dimensions that just make this sequence formula stunning. I absolutely love this formula. Next up is the metallic. I love this metallic. This, as opposed to like the glitter that you'll see here in a minute, this has more of like a blue undertone to it, which I really like. You kind of see this blue flecks as the light hits it, and I think that's really pretty. And I think that blue really ties into the sequence shade so well. Don't those two look stunning side by side? I absolutely love that. So again, this is the metallic version of Memory. Now, up next, we're going to take a look at the glitter version of Memory. And the glitter version has a little bit more of a silver flip to it. You can see here the difference between the glitter and the metallic, whereas the metallic has more of that blue undertone to it. The pressed glitter really does have more of like silver accents. And I love using this pressed glitter just very lightly, even just sticking my finger in here and just tapping it on the lid just to give it that silver accent is gorgeous. But do you see how all four of these are very different? You have the matte, you have the sequence that has all of those beautiful kind of kaleidoscope of color. You have this blue undertone, metallic, and this very silver accented glitter. I just think it's stunning. Next up, we're going to be looking at Ritual. This is just a brown matte, and you know, it's just a good formula, nothing exceptional there. The sequence version of this brown matte, however, is phenomenal. The pigment in this particular pan is ridiculous. Now, the micro glitter in Ritual, this sequence version, is gold, so you have this beautiful gold sparkle on top of this brown matte that's so pigmented, by the way. It looks really good on the eye. And then, of course, for Ritual, you just have this metallic. It's just a very basic bronzy metallic. I think this is kind of like a must-have in every palette, as is the glitter version of Ritual. Just really, really pretty gold flip on this brown glitter. You can see that gold really shining through. Love this quad. Think it's absolutely stunning. Next up, we have Story. And I mean, get out of town with this matte color. So pigmented, so stunning on the eye. Less is more with this shade, that's for sure. When you're working with it, keep that in mind. And then the sequence version of Story is gorgeous. Again, you have a lot of this kind of gold micro glitter, which really plays with that orange really, really well. It looks stunning, stunning on the eye. I absolutely love it. Just love the twinkle that you get when you use this. And another thing that I really like is the ability to blend this out on the eye without all of that micro glitter flying around everywhere. It's just very user friendly. Next up, we have the metallic from Story. I love this duochrome. You have this really kind of burnt orange base with this peach flip to it, and you can just see that really pretty light peach gleam in this shade, and it looks so good on the eye. You guys, it's insane. This is a gorgeous metallic, and again, I love that flip that it has when it catches the light. Now, the glitter version of Story is very interesting. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see it here, but not only does it have kind of that burnt orange glitter in it, but it also has some hints of like purple. You can see a little bit of blue in there. It has a lot of different colors. It's not really going to show up super well here, but it's a very dimensional shade that I think is stunning. Next up is Soothe, just a very light beige matte tone that makes a perfect transition color. The sequence version of Soothe is beautiful. Very, very gorgeous yellow kind of micro glitter in here. Very sparkly, very stunning. This is just a really, really pretty metallic. It's a nice basic gold. It's got that khaki base with a gold flip to it. When the light catches this, it really is beautiful. I love this shade on the lid. It is quite striking, and to be honest with you, I love this metallic on the lid with the glitter version of Soothe tapped on top of it, because you guys, the glitter version of Soothe is so pretty. Wait until you see it. It's this one right here. It's just this beautiful champagne glitter. And again, this is another one of those multi-dimensional glitters that you can just see all of the different shapes of glitter that catch the light just so. And it's a very champagne-y looking, so it's not as warm toned as the rest of the shades. I actually like that about the glitter because when you just tap it on the lid, it really is just enough to pop any look that you have and just like kick it up a notch, just kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. But again, another beautiful pressed glitter. I absolutely love this quad as well. Even though they have a lot of things in common, they're all quite different. They just are all very different. They have as much differences as they do things that make them the same. Next up is probably my second favorite row. This is Aura. This cream shadow is so pigmented and so stunning, but you guys, the sequence version of Aura is probably my favorite sequence formula in this palette. It has this beautiful, can you see the purple? It has this beautiful purpley blue micro glitter in here that, you guys, when it's on the lid, it's just something very different. And I don't know if the purple is really showing up here. It's like this purpley pink sparkle that is just stunning. It's so gorgeous and so unique. Again, this is probably my favorite sequence pan in this palette because of how unique it is. And then of course you have the metallic. It's just a beautiful champagne metallic that is just incredibly striking. This is probably the best inner corner highlight color out of this whole palette. It just looks gorgeous. And look at that sequence. I just can't stop looking at the micro shimmer in the sequence formula. It's absolutely amazing. And the pressed glitter in the Aura line, which is what we're going to look at next, this is just like an explosion. You have blues, you have green, you have purple, you have teal. And the way that this particular glitter catches the light when it's on your eye, I've had so many compliments and people asking, what is that that's on your eyes? Especially at night, when you wear it out at night and the lights, whether it's the moonlight or artificial light in restaurants, the way that it kicks that glitter around, it just gives the impression of all of this beautiful color movement on the eye. It is stunning. It really is. And I'm probably going to use that word way too much throughout this recording, but I don't know how else to talk about this particular pressed glitter. So this quad is one of my favorite quads. All right, next up, or last but not least, is Poet. Of course, this matte color, incredibly pigmented, beautiful to work with. Then we have the sequence version of this, which is so incredibly unique, you guys, and it's not really going to pick up here as much as I would like it to, but the micro glitter in this sequence is actually a little purple. It has this beautiful purple micro glitter in it, a lot like the Aura micro glitter, but for some reason you can't get it to pick up. It's so interesting in person and so not interesting on video, and I don't know why, and it's aggravating because I really wish it would translate to you guys. But the metallic is stunning. I love this. You have this really pretty kind of burnt base with this flip of purple that happens as it catches the light. It's so unique and so beautiful. I love it. And of course you have the pressed glitter version of Poet, which has this really pretty burgundy base to it, but it also has a lot of different color in it. It has a lot of the same purple accents that the sequence in that the sequence micro glitter is purple, and then you have that purple flip in the metallic, so it's like this theme of purple throughout this quad, which I thought was super interesting. But again, probably something you're gonna have to experience in person. I just can't get it to translate through the video footage, but it is what it is. So here's the whole palette, you guys, all laid out so you can see the full color story, and we'll do this in a lot of different lighting so that you guys can kind of see it just about every way that I could think of. But at the end of the day, you guys, this palette through and through is absolutely stunning. Like I said before, I really feel like I have a pan of 24 individual, very unique shades that all complement each other. It's a genius idea. I think she knocked it out of the park, considering this was her first product. It's so innovative and so unique. It's genius. I absolutely love it, and I would encourage all of you guys to get your hands on it if you can. It's definitely a different experience. It is a very high quality formula, and I love it. It's a great palette. So, could you die? These shades are so beautiful. They're so unique. Also, I do want to talk to you a little bit about application. I had a blast playing with this palette. All of these shades just blend beautifully on the eye. A note of warning: they are very pigmented. So, like, you know, for example, if you're going to dip into like the matte black and you want to do like a little bit of darkening on like the outer V, be very careful, because oftentimes I dipped into that matte black and I would go to kind of darken up an outer V and it would just be way too much black. I had just picked up way too much product on my brush. So less is more with these. Definitely work with a light hand. The pigment in these eyeshadows is bananas, so you really are going to get a really strong payoff when it comes to these shades. Let's go ahead though and get into some application here, just so that you guys can kind of see what application looks like. I'll show you guys the application that I have on my eyes tonight. So I'll show you guys how I got this look here. All right, guys, so I'm just going to start with the cream color that's in the palette, that beautiful aura shade, the matte version, and just putting it right underneath the brow bone. It is a stunning color to highlight underneath the brow bone. It's very pigmented. These colors all blend really, really flawlessly. You know, one thing that I noticed going in here, even with the transition shade in the palette, is that it's so pigmented, and I always go in with a little bit too much, and I end up having to blend a little bit longer than I normally do, simply because it's really pigmented. So less is more. Use a light hand when it comes to this palette, because the color payoff is really, really, really good. And I end up even putting some translucent powder here on the outside, just because of all the blending that I have to do. I don't want to end up getting it in places that I don't want it. So I end up putting the really pretty orange color right down in the crease, and I just do the same on the opposite side, the transition shade, and then going in with that really pretty bright burnt orange color in the crease. And just, you know, it's one of those formulas that it's going to be so beginner friendly, because you can get such a beautiful blend with these colors. Even this darker matte brown, just putting it in the outer V, it just blends out so beautifully. It's going to be such a lovely palette for everyday use. Just any beginner pro is going to love this particular palette. Now, I went on this day with just a very basic neutral eye, which is something that you can do and, you know, just stop there. I decided to go in with a shimmer on the lid and just kind of kick it up a notch, and you could even just stop there with the shimmer on the lid. It's a beautiful shimmer formula. I love it because I have a lot of texture on my lids, so it's hard to pull off a shimmer, but this shimmer is a really nice, smooth shimmer that helps a little bit when it comes to texture. Another thing that helps is to tap a little glitter on here, and I love just tapping the glitter formula on the eye because it's just such a striking effect. The impact of this glitter formula is unbelievable when the light hits it, but just a really light tapping on the eye is really all you need. Now, you can go in with more of a pulling motion and get a thicker layer of that glitter, which just makes your lid look like liquid metal. It really is just a stunning look. I did take the darker brown matte shade in the palette and just use that to line the lower lash line, and then I went in with the transition color and just buffed it out, just to kind of give you like a brown kind of smoked out lower lash line. Blending again is just great. I did go in here with just a brown eyeliner. I tight lined with it in the lash line, and then I also did it down below on the lower lash line as well. Throw on some lashes and some mascara, and here you have the finished look. And it really is pretty. You can stop at any point in time along this process, so you can do just a regular, you know, day look, or you can kind of crank it up like this to more of an evening look. But the glitter's gorgeous. Love the way this look turned out. Love the formula. Just a great palette. So the application is perfect. The swatches are beautiful. The color story of the palette is stunning and amazing. I honestly thought that I knew what I was getting when I ordered this palette. I really, really love the fact that I opened it and started to play with it and was genuinely surprised and shocked at a lot of these different finishes. I love being taken off balance and thrown for a loop when I'm playing with a palette because it doesn't happen very often. I love the aesthetic of the palette. I think it's stunning. It's this really sleek, beautiful, very luxurious piece of cosmetic beauty, and I love it, guys. I think it is amazing, and it really is one of those palettes where you can just buy this palette and just toss it with you, and you have everything you need, from your light cream shade to your matte black to your transition shade, any pressed glitter or sparkle that you would want to kick it up a notch or just do like an everyday neutral eye. It really is like a one-stop shop type of palette. So definitely Erica approved. Listen, let me know what you guys think about this thing. Have you guys gotten your hands on it? Are you super excited about it? I am like over the moon excited. If you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, I definitely recommend signing up for the next round of this palette. It's definitely going to be worth it. I think it's absolutely amazing, and it's definitely 100% Erica approved. So let me know down in the comment section below which one of you guys have had the opportunity of playing with this palette, what you think of it. Let me know if you plan on getting on board for the next round. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and opinions on this one. Other than that, you guys, I think that is it. Listen, if you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you came by to hang out with us today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. Make sure that you guys come on over to Instagram and follow me at Erica Approved and become a member of the Approved crew. We have a good time over there, and I would love to have you. Other than that, I hope you guys are all very, very happy and very, very healthy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah!